Hello and welcome to the Dominion Daily for June 25th, 2026. We've got Renaissance again, and we've also got Hinterlands. And a couple specific things back from yesterday. Old Witch and Barracks. And for trashing, we've got Hideout and Ducat, kind of. Ducat can trash coppers. It doesn't thin your deck, but it does replace the copper with a better card, although not an amazing card. But yeah, other than that, the trashing is Hideout, so that's not the greatest. Fortunately, there is another stack of villages here, so I think Hideout as only village can be very annoying, but we're not dealing with that here. We've also, in addition to Hideout and Mountain Village, we've also got Barracks for plus actions, and you can store up villagers that you gain from Sculptor. There's also Capitalism, which is village-like in its effect, allowing you to play more payload cards generally. And then we've got draw from Old Witch and Witch's Hut, so multiple ways to give out curses there as well. And we've got gains from Ducat giving plus buy, and from Haggler gaining, when you buy something, you gain something cheaper, and then Sculptor. Sculptor can sculpt potentially very expensive things with Highway on the board, so that's definitely going to be relevant. Okay, so how do we want to open here? The fact that Hideout is the only estate trashing in particular potentially lessens the impact of cursing on this board, because that's potentially as many as 6 curses that get distributed through no effort of one's opponent. Though, of course, if you give out those curses before they do that, in some ways that's like obviously going to be worse for them, because then they have the curses sooner. It is better at the point where they're trashing the estate, but yeah, it also just means that like early trashing is going to be a little bit, it's going to be lower impact for sure. That being said, there's not like any really obvious choices for what to open outside of that. I mean, the 5s here are pretty great. So we could open like double silver, we could open silver oasis, we could open silver border guard. Like there's different things we could do to try to hit 5. We could also do like Hideout silver and sort of split the difference. Hideout isn't going to be any worse like through the first shuffle than a card like Modify or whatever, which, well, actually in a way it's a little bit better because it gets to trash before or after it draws the card from the +1 card +2 actions. A better comparison might be Upgrade for that, but anyway, it does reduce hand size. So, if it reduces hand size by trashing an estate, then you haven't, like, harmed your chances of hitting 5, but if it doesn't, then, you have. One thing I am confident of is I don't want to go, like, Hideout Oasis, because then the Oasis is going to want to discard the same card that Hideout is going to want to is presumably going to want to trash. Is tricky. It is tricky. Hmm. I mean, hideout trashing copper, like if we were to get into a position where all hideout could trash is copper, it's not exactly the worst thing, because we do want to trash copper ultimately, of course. If we were to open hideout silver and that happened, though, it would pretty well guarantee that we didn't hit 5, because we'd be seeing 5 of our coppers in that case, and then there'd only be 2 coppers and a silver in the rest of the shuffle. The odds of that aren't very high, of course. The other reason to potentially go with the early hideout is just because all those 5s are terminal. Sculptor doesn't have to be terminal, but the point being that, like, we're gonna want villages to be able to play those terminals with anyway. Yeah, I think I will go ahead and get the early hideout. It's a tough call, but a silver. Well, we might have exactly that thing. Oh my god. Okay, cool. Cool. That's just what I wanted. Yes. Do we take another hideout? We're probably going to have 4 next turn as well. We could also take it like a mountain village. We might not have 4 next turn, which is the reason to take one of the 4s now. The mountain village at least has the chance to accelerate a 5 into our hand. I don't know. Maybe this is fine. I don't know that I specifically wanted to hit 3 or 4 here anyway, but it just feels bad. Feels bad. Okay. I mean, in a way, we are getting thinner faster this way. I will say that. I will say that. And we do have our mountain village down there to pick up an old witch with. That's what we want to go with. Which it probably is. I mean, we could also take a sculptor. We're gonna want both of them, obviously. What we really want is sculptor and highway, but we do also want to give out curses. We've trashed 2 coppers, so we have 2 coppers, 3 estates, border guard, mountain village down there. So if we pick up sculptor, we're not going to hit 5 with it, which is a pretty good reason to take old witch, I think. Make all the estates miss the shuffle. And that's a copper and an estate. We would like to skip the estate, so let's do that. I think it's probably correct to trash curse here. The reason not to is because the bot has 2 old witches. But I mean, we definitely don't want to trash copper because we want to hit 5. And trashing estate does not thin us as much immediately. So I think we trash curse. And I think it's Sculptor now. Oh, God. All right. Second hideout is looking pretty good about now. And then, yeah, we need a highway. It's really too bad that we... Oh, my God. The good news is we are going to probably get to trash estates without getting curses. All right. I think it's got to be Old Witch that we pick up here. You did not. That's fucked. And we saw so much of our junk. We just like, what the fuck? All right, what is down there? The silver is down there. I know that much. An estate, a curse, 2 coppers and a silver. Good grief. Do we just take another border guard? At least we sift through some of this crap. We could also take a third hideout. That doesn't sift as far, but it does get to trash the curse. Oh my God. Hmm. Should we consider getting a ducat here? The other reasonable card, I think, would be Border Guard. I think it's Border Guard. Oh my God. This is so messed up. Draw a curse, hooray. Do we go ahead and trash a state here? I guess we trash copper first and then see what we draw. Boy. I want to give out the last curse and then trash the estate, you see. I can't do it! Fuck! This is absurd. We gotta get that highway. I'm gonna lose this, and I don't know. I really don't think there's anything I could have done to prevent it. It's just like fucking yeah. The bot has 5 highways. Like the bot didn't even open. Like it opened Sculptor, but between the quality of my draws and I guess the quality of the bots, like it hasn't gotten any trashing, but it's sure not mattered. Oh, fuck. I don't even know what to pick up here. Probably Old Witch. Gotta be fucking kidding me! Our deck is actually getting to the point where it's relatively thin. We could, like, take some more sculptors. And now... I mean, we could take another sculptor and spend the villager, but it might be a good idea to have the villager. Ducat is down there. It should be nice. I could draw it. Nope. It should be nice if the bot just dudded because it hasn't trashed. Okay. That's exactly what happened. I do want to trash that curse, of course, but... Well, I guess I'm going to get to. Okay. We sculpt another highway. Can we possibly win here? I feel like that would involve gaining like more plus actions. How many curses are in the trash? 9. Bot has the last curse. So I have an estate, and the bot has all 3 of its estates and a curse. Okay. So yeah, the way that we would win, we'd empty the sculptors. We'd have 2 sculptors left. Except we wouldn't because we'd need plus actions for it. And then we'd sculpt 2 highways. And we'd get to the ducat. I mean, well, we don't necessarily need more actions. Because we do have more plus actions down there. In the form of hideouts. So... If we find our other 2 hideouts, we have 5 actions, plus the villager is 6 actions. So we would empty the sculptors, yeah, and then the 2 sculptors would gain 2 highways, and then we'd have 2 buys. We wouldn't even need 2 buys. I think we gain a highway. Oh, we have more sculptors. Right. So maybe we can afford to gain a village. How many sculptors did I... So last turn I played 3 sculptors. So this is all the sculptors. What do I have down here? So we have copper estate down there. There's 8 coppers in the trash. The bot presumably has trashed 2. Or no, wait. No, the bot only has 1 ducat. So the bot has trashed 1 copper. I think there is probably another copper down there. I did not draw my... Wait, did I never take a ducat? Maybe I never took a ducat. I thought I did. Okay, so the bot's trashed 2 coppers. And I've trashed all but 1. There's no copper down there. So I know there's Old Witch. More highways? How many highways did I play last turn? Well, there's 2 more hideouts as well. We don't need the silvers. We can trash those. So we played 1 highway, 2 highways. And this turn, I've played 2 highways. I've played 3 highways, including one that I gained. So wait, I have 2 hideouts, an Old Witch, and what down there? I'm confused. I am confused. Maybe I do need the silvers. No, because we don't need to hit province. We just need, like, a duchy. Okay, I think it should be fine to gain another highway. Am I wrong about the number of actions that I have? Is the other question. 2 actions, I'm gonna have 3 actions after this. I'm gonna play the other high sculptor. I have 4 actions. I don't have plus buy in my deck. I thought I did, but I don't. I guess sculptor gaining ducat is as good as sculptor gaining sculptor from the standpoint of ending the game. But we do have another highway down here. Okay. Hideout. The last card in my deck is another hideout. Shit. That's bad. I wanted to, like, trash Shield Witch, not have to play it. Like, that costs me the action that I need. I have 3 sculptors. The bot has 2. And the bot has 2 ducats. So baseline, I mean, it has a bunch of gains. It doesn't have any villagers. It does have... Like, it hasn't thinned any starting cards. It's turned a couple coppers into ducats, but... And it still has a curse. So it has 11 of those stop cards plus a silver to get through. It has 2 Old Witches and 2 Witches' Huts, which is a decent amount of draw. Village-wise, it has 3 mountain villages, which isn't that much. It's 4 terminal actions. Barracks gets a 5. Starting action is 6. So that's enough for the Old Witches and the Witches' Huts and the Sculptors, but nothing else. Yeah, I mean, I think if I had drawn my hideout, then I could... Like, I'd have 4 actions, and I would play them all gaining... Well, I'd play 3 of them gaining Sculptors. And then the last one would gain a ducat. And then I would... No, that wouldn't even be enough gains, would it? I'd be 1 gain short. Hmm. So the other thing I can do here is double province. Maybe allow the bot to trash its curse, but I need the copper to do that. Doesn't make sense to lower sculptors now. It might make sense to trash this estate just to get thinner. We have enough to buy a province. We can sculpt another province. I doubt this estate is going to do anything other than maybe provide me fodder for my hideouts next turn, which could be relevant. But I think I'd rather not take the risk. Sculptor for Ducat is not too scary. Converts one gain into a different gain. It does save an action, but that's okay. Never mind. All the bot did was buy a oh, never mind. 3 provinces. No, 4 provinces? It says 3 provinces. Buys a province, buys a province, buys a okay, yeah. Okay, so can we get 3 provinces? We certainly should be able to with the sculptors. We are going to need to see hideouts. But I'm going to take the sculptor. Okay. The easiest thing to do is we sculpt 3 provinces and we don't buy anything. We can hideout trash the copper and the silver. Are we gonna play the old witch anyway? Probably. Let's card it a hideout. How many hideouts do we need to play? We really only need to play 3 sculptors as our terminals. So we don't need to play that last hideout. So I think we pick up the copper. Smash that. Definitely need the highway. We definitely need the sculptor. No, we don't need the highway. We do not. This is enough. We don't need the villager or the actions from hideout either, but I suppose I was so sure I was losing that one. I think I certainly should have. You know, I mean, the bot never did trash. I think that's a big deal. Um, it like obviously had more draw, but it also had a lot more crap to get through. It had so my deck had one draw card in it, so I could increase my hand size to 7. The bot had these two 7, 9, 10, 11. So that's plus 6, but it had 4 or it's like 7 coppers plus ducats, a curse, 3 estates, and the silver for that matter. Whereas, yeah, by the end, I mean, I had almost nothing. I mean, I obviously going in the last turn, I did have the couple provinces, but oh, yeah, that was definitely stressful. My draws definitely could have been better. But all's well that ends well, I suppose. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it would have been better to open with not hideout. Obviously, the odds that it saw 0 estates were not high, and I don't actually think that's the reason. I just, maybe it would have been better to do something that was more likely to hit 5, rather than kind of splitting the difference. I'm not really sure. I definitely think you want to be playing with it and thinning with it. And as I said early, there is some advantage to it never trashing a state early, which is that we never had to take we were actively thinning, and rather than just swapping an estate for a curse. But I mean, the fact that the bot got 2 old witches so quickly and gave me so many curses, potentially, you trash a state to curse, and then the bot gives out a curse with old witch, and you trash that curse, and that's that has some benefit too. You receive fewer curses that are increasing the number of junk cards in your deck that way. So it's like, it's like on the one hand, if you don't trash these states until the end, you don't get, you actively thin them. And on the other hand, if you trash them early, then maybe you get to not receive an extra junk card net, at some point. But yeah, anyway, well, from the bot's perspective, like I said, it should have trashed more. And I think that's probably all it really needed to do, because if it had trashed more, then it would have been able to presumably do more with its gains. I was expecting to want to do something with Haggler here. Now that I'm thinking about it, I kind of lost track of that along the way, but I guess it's not too surprising. Like, Highway Sculptor is a pretty powerful interaction, so I guess it's not too surprising that Haggler didn't come into play. Yeah, well, anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.